Missouri stood at a perilous crossroads as the American Civil War ignited. Its geographic position and diverse population made it a microcosm of the national conflict. The state's fate hung precariously in the balance, a battleground for competing ideologies. The population was deeply divided, reflecting both northern and southern influences. Many settlers from the Upper South brought enslaved people and pro-slavery sentiments. However, a significant German immigrant population in St. Louis and other areas strongly favored the Union. This internal schism meant Missouri could not easily align with either side. Its strategic location along the Mississippi River and its rich resources made it vital to both the Union and the Confederacy. Control of Missouri was seen as crucial for the war effort. The state's political landscape quickly fractured into two opposing factions. Governor Claiborne Fox Jackson, a staunch secessionist, sought to align Missouri with the Confederacy. He actively worked to seize federal arsenals and military supplies. Unionists, led by figures like Francis P. Blair Jr. and Captain Nathaniel Lyon, moved swiftly to counter Jackson's efforts. They understood the critical importance of securing St. Louis and its vital arsenal. Their actions would soon ignite open conflict. In May 1861, Lyon's forces confronted Jackson's pro-secessionist state militia at Camp Jackson in St. Louis. The ensuing Camp Jackson affair resulted in a deadly riot, further polarizing the state and pushing it closer to war. This event solidified the divide. Following these events, Governor Jackson fled the capital, Jefferson City, as Union forces advanced. He convened a rump legislature in Neosho, which formally voted for secession and joined the Confederacy. This established the Confederate government of Missouri. Meanwhile, Unionists convened a state convention in Jefferson City. They declared the governorship vacant and established a provisional Union government. Hamilton R. Gamble was appointed as the new Union governor, creating two rival state administrations. Missouri thus found itself with two legitimate claiming governments, each vying for control. One pledged allegiance to the Union, the other to the Confederacy. This unique situation fueled intense political and military struggle throughout the state. The political maneuvering quickly escalated into armed conflict. The first significant engagement occurred at Boonville in June 1861. Union forces under General Lyon routed Governor Jackson's state guard, forcing them to retreat southward. This early Union victory secured central Missouri for a time. However, the Confederate-aligned Missouri State Guard, now under Sterling Price, regrouped and gained strength. They sought to reclaim lost ground and assert Confederate authority. The Battle of Carthage in July 1861 saw Price's State Guard clash with Union forces. While tactically a Confederate victory, it was strategically indecisive. It demonstrated the growing resolve of the pro-Confederate forces in the state. The most significant early battle was Wilson's Creek in August 1861. Union General Nathaniel Lyon attacked Price's combined Confederate and Missouri State Guard forces near Springfield. It was a brutal and bloody engagement. Lyon was killed during the battle, becoming the first Union general to die in the war. The Union forces were ultimately defeated and forced to retreat. Wilson's Creek was a major Confederate victory, boosting morale and securing southwestern Missouri. Following Wilson's Creek, Price's forces advanced northward, besieging and capturing Lexington in September 1861. This further demonstrated the strength of the Confederate movement within Missouri. The Union response was swift and determined. As conventional armies clashed, a more insidious form of warfare emerged. Missouri became a hotbed of guerrilla activity, characterized by brutal raids and ambushes. This irregular conflict terrorized civilians and blurred the lines of combat. Pro-Confederate guerrillas, often called bushwhackers, operated with fierce independence. Leaders like William Quantrill and Bloody Bill Anderson became infamous for their ruthless tactics. They targeted Union sympathizers and federal supply lines. Union forces responded with their own irregular units and harsh measures. Jayhawkers from Kansas, led by figures like James Lane, conducted retaliatory raids into Missouri. This cycle of violence created a deeply scarred landscape. The guerrilla war was marked by its personal nature and extreme brutality. Neighbors fought neighbors, and atrocities were common on both sides. It was a war without uniforms, often fought by men seeking revenge or plunder. This irregular warfare profoundly impacted Missouri's civilian population. Farms were burned, families were displaced, and communities were torn apart. The state endured a level of internal strife unmatched in most other border states. The federal government struggled to contain the guerrilla threat. General Order No. 11, issued in 1863, forcibly evacuated civilians from 4 western Missouri counties. This drastic measure aimed to deny guerrillas their support base. Missouri's early Civil War years were defined by this relentless struggle. The dual governments symbolized the state's fractured identity. Battles like Wilson's Creek and the pervasive guerrilla warfare left an indelible mark. The conflict in Missouri was not just about grand strategy. It was deeply personal. It pitted families against each other and destroyed the fabric of communities. The state became a microcosm of the nation's agony. A legacy of this period shaped Missouri for generations. Its unique experience as a border state, caught between 2 warring ideologies, remains a compelling chapter in American history. The scars of its internal conflict ran deep. Missouri's early war years serve as a stark reminder of the devastating human cost of division. It highlights how political differences can escalate into widespread violence. The state's story is one of profound struggle and enduring resilience.